So I think everybody who's joined this probably has some background in the space. I just pulled up, this is the Oxford English Dictionary definitions here. I don't completely agree with them, but I wanted to use this to just frame it up before I completely dive in. So when we're talking about metaverse, Oxford English Dictionary says a virtual reality space in which users can interact with computer-generated environment and other users. I think that's a decent definition, but perhaps doesn't capture the whole swath of what metaverse could be. When they define blockchain, they say a system in which a record of transactions made in Bitcoin or another cryptocurrency are maintained across several computers that are linked in a peer-to-peer network. I think that doesn't exactly capture it, right? It's that there are transactions or blocks that are happening in a series, right, or chain, and that is verified by, peers on a public network, right, in a public ledger. That's what I say when I mean blockchain. And really, a lot of this talk is, you could almost combine these things and say this is what the core of Web3 is. People have different definitions, but this is kind of what I'm talking about, incorporating decentralization, tokenization into the world. And so a little bit, I'm going to talk, broadly about what kind of Web3, both of these things gaming, but I also have specific points on, more specifically metaverse versus blockchain, kind of the world and the back end technologies. When I look at something, I like to look at it from both ways, bottom up and top down. So, top down, just to give folks an idea of the size and shape of this thing and where it might be going. When I look at metaverse, I find it very hard to find a market size, right? Mostly because there isn't so much of a market for it today. It hasn't really fulfilled much. There's not much consumers can do or many places it can go. It's more of a promise. And so when I look for stats on that, I mostly see in the 14, 15, 16 trillion dollar valuations, right? This is taking account for, what Meta, is doing with its metaverse and so forth. But when I look at this and think about it, is this Web 2 metaverse what it looks like today? I have to believe that they're talking about true Web 3 metaverse, maybe even including some of the, hardware aspects that come in, true virtual reality where folks are plugged in a la Player One. But what we have to remember here is that's not just for games. It's really hard to see. I didn't necessarily intend it, but this is a figure from Goldman Sachs here, which asks people, what they expect to do in the metaverse. Number one is shopping. Number 8 or whatever it is playing games. I'll talk a little bit more about what I think about that, but the point being, metaverse is not just for gaming. So let's keep that in mind. The global gaming market, if you were to ask me, everybody has different figures, but when I sort of synthesize them all, a meta study, if you will, I'd say it's $200 billion today, right? This is across PC games, console games, mobile games, kind of all traditional gaming. And it's growing. Almost everybody has it in the 8, 9, 10, 11, 12%. So I'm just going to say 10% CAGR per year. Point is that when you talk about blockchain gaming, metaverse gaming, the lines start to become very, very blurred. This isn't I ship a disc out, right? I sell one Call of Duty disc in November, right before the Christmas season, and I count that $60 towards the global gaming market cap. It is no longer right like that, right? It is player-owned assets, even the company retaining assets. And so this is kind of market size in a new and different way.